us here this evening. A bit unfortunate. Jim, would you join me up here? This is Jim Welsh from thank you, Crownswell. You did, and I was seeing the well at the end, and I couldn't put the first part together. So I want to say a few words, and then I have a couple of one's a proclamation, and one is an email that has been sent in to us. So Groundswell has done a lot in the city of Sun Prairie with protecting Patrick Marsh. I was in a meeting a few years ago, 3 or 4 maybe, and there was a biologist from DNR there, and he was telling us how unique that was, how special that was. I had no idea. So due to the efforts of Jim and Groundswell, and in conjunction with the town of Bristol and the city of Sun Prairie, that is now protected, and DNR. It's protected, so people will have that to use 100 years from now, the way it is. So what's significant about this, and the reason I want to make these comments, is that Jim is retiring. That's what this is all about. And he'll be leaving us, and we, as a city, wanted to recognize him. But Jim is a special person. Lots of times people have jobs, and they're passionate about those jobs, but it is a job. And they do that job. And if they're not doing that job, they're doing something else. But for you, Jim, it is not just a job. It is a life's passion for you. And you and I were talking about this a little while ago, and you were telling me how once you retire, you're going to continue to do the sorts of things you're doing right now. So I'm an accountant, and when we retire, we don't keep doing accounting. But you're way different than that, and you're a special person. This isn't just a job. This is something that means a lot to you personally when you do it. So I think that makes it special that we should acknowledge that. So the first email that I have is from Jeannie Barron. So Jeannie is a longtime Sun Prairie person. I know she grew up in Sun Prairie. She may have been born in Sun Prairie, but she has a long history and a great passion for the marsh. So she isn't able to be with us this evening, but asked that I read this into the record. Well, actually, she said if I could, and ordinarily I wouldn't do it. But in this case, I thought what she said is so special and the event is so special, I wanted to do it, Jim. Jim Welsh is an extraordinary individual and deserves much recognition for the work he has done at Patrick Marsh. I've known and worked with Jim the entire time he has worked at Groundswell Conservancy, formerly known as Natural Heritage Land Trust. He is honest, hardworking, and gets the job done. He has worked with the city of Sun Prairie, the towns of Sun Prairie and Bristol, to purchase land in Patrick Marsh. He obtained support from all 3 entities for these purchases and obtained funding for both the city of Sun Prairie and the town of Bristol. Jim has also worked with the Department of Natural Resources to secure stewardship funds with Dane County to secure county conservation funds, as well as securing funding from civic and environmental groups, companies, and individuals. He has worked extensively with the Sun Prairie Rotary to do many projects at Patrick Marsh to enhance the viability of the marsh and promote citizen use and enjoyment. These projects include replacing the information kiosks at the marsh, several prescribed burns, the building of a spectacular viewing platform in the shape of a bird with outstretched wings, and the planting of a prairie on 3 separate occasions. Jim has also worked with the previous owners of the land at Patrick Marsh. He convinced them that selling their land for conservation is good for them and good for the land. He has presented at many county board meetings to help move the land purchases through the process to secure funding. Sun Prairie is exceptionally lucky to have someone like Jim working on these issues. Sun Prairie has not only been the only beneficiary of his conservation work. During his time as executive director at Groundswell, he has been instrumental in conserving over 10,000 acres of farms, forests, prairies, and wetlands in and around Dane County. As executive director at Groundswell, he has made Groundswell a nationally recognized conservation organization. In August 2015, Groundswell was accredited by the Land Trust Accreditation Commission, an independent program of the Land Trust Alliance. At the time of the accreditation, only 317 land trusts had received that honor nationwide. I am honored to have worked with Jim for the past 19 years and proud to call him my friend and excited to see the city of Sun Prairie honor him for all his contributions through the years. Signed, Jeannie Barron, President, Patrick Marsh Conservatory. So it was both very nicely written, but very sentimental, I thought, Jim, and I wanted to share that with you. So here is the proclamation that we are presenting to you on behalf of the city of Sun Prairie, Jim, in our appreciation. Whereas in December 2021, Jim Welsh, Executive Director of Groundswell Conservancy, formerly known as Natural Heritage Land Trust, announced his retirement after 18 successful years. And whereas the city of Sun Prairie would like to recognize Jim for his conservation efforts over the years, and whereas under his leadership, Groundswell has earned national accreditation and has conserved over 13,000 acres of farms, forests, prairies, and wetlands in and around Sun Prairie, preserving land in rural and agricultural and urban environments. And whereas in 2014, Groundswell purchased its first piece of property at Patrick Marsh as an addition to the the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources State Wildlife Area. And whereas Jim has been instrumental in preserving and expanding Patrick Marsh, including most recently a 2018 purchase of 25 acres on the northwest side of Patrick Marsh to expand the land within the Conservancy and protect the marsh from the encroachment of development and increasing outdoor learning opportunities, nesting habitat, and prairie lands for pollinators. And whereas Jim has partnered with several organizations on projects to maintain and improve the 340 acres at Patrick Marsh, including the Rotary Club, to build kiosks around the marsh, and most recently a new boardwalk. UW-Madison and Operation Fresh Start to build viewing platforms at Patrick Marsh Middle School students to plant new prairies. And whereas on behalf of the city of Sun Prairie, I want to express our gratitude for Jim's dedication to Patrick Marsh, the city of Sun Prairie, and its residents. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Paul Esser, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor, on behalf of the city of Sun Prairie, wish to congratulate Jim and wish him success as he begins a new chapter of his life. Thank you, Jim. Please accept this with our appreciation for your services to our community.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Jim, would you like to say a few words?
I want to say thank you to the council and all great staff. It's wonderful to work with you, and I hope the organization will continue to do so in the future. There's a lot of wonderful things we still want to achieve at Patrick Marsh. We're having our annual lawn fest coming back this coming Saturday at 4:30. We're going to meet in the middle school. So please come out and enjoy and see what we've helped create. I also want to thank Rotary, who's been a tremendous partner to us. Kind of in memory of Bill Wambach, who helped make so many great things happen. Really honored and pleased and proud to work with all of you. You made Patrick Marsh a great resource for the community, and we'll do it more in the future. So thank you very much.
You're right.